Hi everyone, Ray from ProString here with another racket restringing tutorial. As you can see, today's racket is going to be on a badminton racket. It is a Yonex Arcsaber 11. Alright, Arcsaber 11, quite popular racket. The whole Arcsaber line in itself, pretty good racket. We're going to be using Yonex BG65 strings, which is a little bit more durable for those who use plastic. Highly recommend it. And this is a 22 mains by, I'm going to count out the crosses in the video. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 22 by 21 crosses. 21 mains by 22 crosses. Okay, so there you have it. And we're going to start by, well, firstly, if you haven't mounted your racket, I'm happy to take this off again, just so you guys can see. I'll move it to this side, not that it matters, but I have it. So find yourself the middle, and then just close the fixtures or your mounting system. Don't add much pressure at all. The racket needs space, guys. Very, very important. Can't emphasize enough how important this part actually is. Apologies. Very long week. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and a bit. 13 and a touch should restring any badminton racket, unless it's a very special stringing pattern that I'm not aware of. So you can see plenty of give. Okay, so we always start from the bottom, as you probably just seen. And then we've already got our first 2 mains in, 1 to each side of the racket, or the middle, 1 to each side of the middle. And then 11 to each side, therefore just need to count 10, because 1 string is already on the mains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's how I count my string, and then I pull the string through, and then I leave myself a little bit so I have enough to reach the tension head. That should do the job. We're going to do a 2-knot stringing. So in other words, a one-piece stringing job. Client has requested 27 pounds of tension. Excuse me, guys. Wow. It's been a very long week, juggling work and 3 small kids on my own for 8 days. My other half is away, out of business in San Francisco. So if you're watching this, yes, I am tired of being tired this week at least. So anyway, three main strings to each side. If you have a bit of a gap here, sometimes when you pull your first main, you might have a tiny bit of a gap. Just close the gap. Don't, as you can see, I didn't apply any tension, pressure. You don't need to. Really important to get it right, guys, when you're mounting the racket on the machine. If not, you're just looking for problems. So just be careful with that. And there's my 3rd main. My phone is connected, by the way. Another phone. I am using the phone for this video. my working phone is on, and I will be taking calls for restringing, of course. Do tend to get quite a few calls, so let's see if we get a nice clean run and nobody disturbs, but nonetheless I will take calls, as if not I will lose business. And that's kind of the trade-off I'm willing to take, because if not, people just go to the next person on Google, and that's a potential client I could hold on to. Well, it could be one restring, it could be for a very long time. We do have a lot of repeating business, which is always good, so just to be safe that I don't lose any business, as I am my own receptionist for Pro String Racket Restringing Service. So as you can see, I've done 3 to each side, now 4 to this side. It doesn't matter which side you choose to do, 3 and then another 3 and so on and so on. It really doesn't matter. Oops. And this is number 6. So you're always wanting to compensate the tension on each side. That's why we do this. If not, you can really damage the racket. And if you get away with not damaging the racket, then reducing the amount of stress we're putting on the racket. Rackets go through a lot of stress when they're being restrung. That sounds good to me. I had a client yesterday, funny enough, actually texted me saying, what tension did you do my racket at? And I said 26 pounds as he requested. It was a badminton racket as well. I said it feels more like 28. I was like, I don't know what to tell you. But you know, if you are doing a good job, your stringing will feel, whether it's tennis, squash or badminton, by the way, it doesn't matter. But people sometimes will feel that you might be stringing at a higher tension. Sometimes questionable, they'll question you on, I mean, why does it feel so tight? If you are a good stringer, or become a good stringer, because there's so many bad stringers out there that it makes it feel like, I've had it 2 or 3 times before where people really question, like, it's not possible. Not the guy yesterday, but he was a bit curious. He's like, did you really string my racket at 26? I was like, yep. But I've had it before where people's like, it's not possible. You've made a mistake somewhere. I mean, it's pretty much impossible for me to make a mistake. It's in my habit. It's automatic for me just to up the tension, or down the tension every racket that I do. So, you know, it's just, for me, it's pretty standard procedure and routine. But nonetheless, of course, people will always be people. 27 pounds of tension, guys. Anyway, so it does sound pretty tight. But anyway, 9, I've done my 9th main string. Now I'm going to carry on from the other side where there's 6 currently. What's today? Today is the 7th of March, 2024. And 9. A lot of the times when I have a hole covered, so I'm about to cover with this next main string, I'm covering a cross string. Don't know if you can see it. It's this one here. That'll be covering on the outside part. Hopefully I can show you. So this string is going to loop through and cover the hole. However, on this racket, it's not covering the hole fully. Sometimes you'll get that from time to time, depending on the racket. So I can see a pretty clear gap where I know the string will fit. A lot of times it's not the case on badminton rackets, and I'll use a little piece of tennis string, polyester tennis string, and I'll just place that in between, so it just gives me a little bit more space to work with when I'm putting the strings through, which I highly recommend. Makes life a bit easier. No damage done when you take the string out either. Nothing happens. It's all pretty fine. And that's my 11th on that side, and I've got 9 on this side, which means I've got 2 more to go before I start my crosses and tie my knot as well. Okay, I've upped my tension 15% from my last cross. Only on the side that I'm tying the knot. Here I'm going to carry on with my crosses, so it's unnecessary to put the tension up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. On my 8th string. On my 8th main string, just in case you're wondering. Saves you counting, which will probably be a lot easier, harder on the screen. So, I'm going to just pull it with my hand for now. I like to weave 3 cross strings first, before tying my knot, or yeah, before, well, the knot's there, but I haven't tied it off properly just yet. For this reason being, that way I don't have more issues of getting my string through. So if I were to tighten that, that could be disabling me to get the string through. So it's just much easier. Enable, should I say? Is it enable? I don't know. I want to say it feels pretty tight at 27 on this racket. It'll always tell you the tension, the recommended tension, which I've gone way over, and I don't like that. That's my bad. So hopefully we'll be fine. This racket, I know this racket very well. It should be fine at 27. It is the recommended tension. So I should have probably checked before, but me being a confident stringer, there you go. I make mistakes too. Hopefully I get away with it, because it is 3 pounds over the recommendation. So it just probably means that the frame's a tiny bit softer and can't handle as much. But it's probably going to be just fine. But just keep an eye on that, guys. Don't do what I just did. Despite me trying to show you guys what to do. But there you go, little learning lesson. I guess the client is quite confident that it can take 27 as well. If not, this video will go very wrong shortly. So let's really hope that the client knows what they're talking about. It does vary from racket to racket, so I mean, 3 pounds in the grand scheme of things is not that much more, but for a badminton racket, you want to be very careful, I have to say. Very careful. And I'm going half a pound higher now, because Yonex recommends to go higher on the crosses, 0.5 pounds, 0.2 kilos, to keep its isometric shape. So I do follow their recommendation. I mean, I should be fine with the tension on this racket, but there you go. I think it's a bit of a tired mistake from my side. I'm not gonna lie, I was falling asleep before doing this video. Was contemplating whether I should do it now or not, and I decided to do it. I was actually starting to drift off, fall asleep, whilst uploading 3 YouTube videos. I was just adding the description and title to 3 videos, and I literally felt myself going. Hi. But anyway, all good. Not complaining. I've got a very long day ahead, so it's not like I really have a choice. Gonna get rid of the excess string on my knot. But yeah, no excuse to not check what I didn't check. But I already started. If not, I would have called the client, probably and said, hey, listen, if I string at your tension that you're asking for, you know, we're risking breaking your racket. But if something was going to happen, it would have probably already happened. So we're almost halfway up the crosses. I haven't heard a crack. Touch wood. Hopefully I'm not jinxing myself here. But I truly believe it's going to be okay. Remember, they are recommendations. If you know your badminton rackets, you know which ones are the higher quality ones, and they should probably take anywhere between 20 and 30. I mean, it can take a lot less than 20 as well, but I mean, I don't see anybody really requesting any lower than 21, 22 pounds in any case. So yeah, you can go as low as you want, but not as high as you want. So for those who are just starting out stringing, as you can see when I'm weaving my string, or pulling on the string that I've just weaved, I'm using my hand to move the string up and down to avoid any unnecessary friction between the mains and the crosses. Good to do this, regardless badminton, tennis or squash, regardless the tension, regardless the type of racket, string, you name it. Always keeping that. And then I pushed my string up a little bit to keep it against the previous cross string. And then when you pull the string, when you're physically tightening the string, or the tension head is tightening the string, be sure to just support the string a little so it doesn't go all over the place. Because that's what you want to avoid, is that at the end of the racket, when you finish your stringing job, having the strings all over the place. Because when you put them back into place or try to straighten them out, the more strings you're having to straighten out, the more tension it's going to lose. Guaranteed. That does cause tension loss. So keep your crosses nice and straight, guys. Just a reminder as well, guys, always opposites. You're going to weave your string like the one I'm weaving now will all be opposite to this string. Right, our first shared hole at the top. There was 1, 2, 3 shared at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ninth, our ninth hole, which is a shared hole, main and cross, is our first cross string. Just FYI, if I didn't say that before, I don't think I did. This one goes over because the other one is under before it, and weave. So I didn't cover the string here. This is where it comes in handy, having a little string aid. Didn't think it would be an issue here. Probably won't be anything too bad, but I'm just pulling down the string a little bit to move it out of my way. Be very careful if you're going to use the awl, guys. It's a very helpful tool, but you need to know how to use it. And that can only give you can only learn how to use it all with practice. Unfortunately, it's not something someone can teach you, but ultimately you're the one that has to have the feel of how hard you're using it against the string, or how hard you're pushing through a hole to create some space to tie a knot, for example, or a shared hole. So just be careful with that, guys. Just use it again as you saw. No dramas, very easy. As you're seeing, the string wants to curl pretty much, so just guide it nice and straight. Don't leave yourself a little knot or curve in the string there. Leave it nice and flush against the frame. Another shared hole. I think this one, there's lots of space though on that one. And we've got 3 more crosses to go. 3 more. Under, over, under, over, under, over, as usual. Right, well, this is where I didn't leave myself a stringing aid. I could have sworn I saw plenty of space. That's fine. So I've just cut myself a nice sharp edge again. That should just go through real easy. There you go. And I'll probably have another little block on the opposite side, just coming up. Come through no issues, despite being slightly locked by my main. I will be telling the client I strung the racket at 27, but the recommended tension is not to go over 24. Let's double check. Yeah, 19 to 24. 19 pounds to 24 pounds. Like I said, 27 isn't massively over. If they would have said 29, 30, then I would have definitely double checked, because 29, anything over 27 is, I would say, is considered quite tight for a badminton racket. So once you start, people ask, once clients start asking you for 28 pounds of tension, just have a look, have a little look, see what the racket tells you and take it from there. If it doesn't say on the racket for whatever reason, go online, just type in the frame, the name of the racket and model, and just put in at the end of that specs. So the Yonex Arcsaber 11 specs, S-P-E-C-S, and normally it'll pop up pretty easily. I'd rather pop up the racket from an online shop, or sometimes a forum, or whatever it is. If it's really popular, it might even just pop up on Google. You know how it pops up with the main information and things that are typically searched for. Anyway, here you go. Here you have it, guys. Can't get my words out. Apologies. Tie my knot, my Parnell knot, which I will make a video on eventually. Hopefully next week. I've got a little bit more time to do some other stuff, video-wise at least. Right, so the racket should come off the machine just as easy as this, and if it doesn't, then you know you're tightening the racket onto the machine or your mounting system far too tight. Straighten up the strings that need straightening. Hopefully it's not many. As I said, you know, It does cause tension loss. That's very tight, I would say. So the client should be happy. Excuse me. All right, guys, there you have it. Yonex Arcsaber 11. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hopefully there was lots of useful stuff for you there. Any questions or feedback, please feel free to leave a comment. And there you have it. Have a good day. Have a good day, guys. And happy stringing. Take care. Bye-bye.